Real estate investors, this is your no BS guide to investing in fourplexes in College Station, Texas. These are some of my favorite assets, so we're going to cover purchase price, renovation cost, expected monthly rents. I'm even going to take you through a line-by-line breakdown of how I would analyze one of these properties here in 2025. Of course, we're covering all that and more on your favorite investing channel, Investing in Bryan-College Station, Texas, where we come out with a new video every single week to help you grow your wealth through real estate here in Aggieland. If you don't know who I am, my name is Greg Schwartz. I started off my professional career as a Marine Corps helicopter pilot. Along the way, I decided to start investing in real estate, and today I'm a full-time investor and real estate agent here with the Schwartz Realty Group, where we help people like you invest here in Aggieland. Today, we're going to jump in and do a deep dive into my favorite asset, and that is the College Station Fourplex. So stay tuned. It's going to be a good one. Let's talk about what these fourplexes look like. Let's talk about what they sell for. Let's talk about what they rent for. Let's talk about what it takes to renovate one, and then let's go over the analysis. So let's quickly define what we expect to find when it comes to fourplexes in College Station. Well, turns out the majority of these fourplexes were built between 1975 and 1985. They look something like this. Usually a 4-square model with 2 downstairs units and 2 upstairs units. Each unit is usually 700 to 1,000 square feet with 2 bedrooms and then either 1, 1.5, or 2 bathroom configurations. What about price? When it comes to price, if the fourplex has not been upgraded and is in need of some love, right, maybe a little neglected, expect to pay $400,000 to $450,000. Now, if it has been upgraded, if it is getting those market rents or above, expect to pay $500,000 to $600,000. What about rent, you ask? Good question. Well, the rent rates, they really fall into 3 categories. I find that most of these fourplexes are either relatively neglected, meaning they're in their original condition and probably in pretty rough shape. Those rent for around $700 to $900. Now, if you find something that's in good shape but original condition has not yet been upgraded, expect that those are going to rent $900 to $1,100. And then if you get something that's upgraded, new floors, new countertops, new cabinets, new appliances, so on and so forth, $1,100 up to about $1,300 is pretty standard. All right, so what does it take to get one of these fourplexes from an original condition, maybe even a little neglected, to an upgraded condition? In general, I recommend that you budget $15,000 to $20,000 per unit, plus another 20-ish for the exterior. In general, what you can do with that money is upgrade the flooring throughout, upgrade countertops, reface or possibly replace cabinets, upgrade appliances, upgrade the shower, tub, bath combo. We usually like to go with a tile surround. And then you're going to upgrade all the things like the light fixtures and the switches and the outlets, all these other things that you need to upgrade to make a unit feel more modern. And then finally, a full paint. And then you have a little bit of a buffer for some drywall repair, or if you've got to take care of a water heater, something along those lines. On the exterior, $20,000 will usually clean up your siding, repaint the place as required, and maybe put in, some exterior shrubbery if necessary. Okay, that covers purchase price, rent rates, and upgrades required. Let's now talk about one of the common misconceptions about a fourplex. A lot of people think that fourplexes don't appreciate at the rate that single-family houses do. The common thought is that single-family houses are in higher demand by both investors and by primary homeowners, so they would appreciate at a faster rate. Well, I looked back over the last decade, and single-family houses have appreciated really well. 6.42% annual appreciation for a single-family house. Then I looked back at fourplexes over the same time frame. Turns out their appreciation, 6.13%. The difference is marginal, and of course, a fourplex has a lot of advantages. For example, 1 purchase for 4 units, 1 roof for 4 units, 1 foundation for 4 units. You see where I'm going with this? There's a lot of advantages to owning a fourplex and buying 4 units at once. It's almost like buying a small apartment complex. All right, now let's jump into the analysis. I'm gonna take you line by line of analysis I did using calculator.net's rental property calculator, and some of these numbers will look familiar. We'll give you an idea of what your ROI will really look like, or in this case, your IRR. If you've never used calculator.net's website, I highly recommend it. I've got a video on how I compare this to other calculators. You can check it out here. And down in the description below, I have a breakdown of how I run analysis on fourplexes, explaining some of the inputs. So I will be going kind of quick here, but that PDF linked in the description below, shoot me your email, I'll show you the PDF, and then I'll give you the full breakdown. So don't worry if you miss something as I go through this pretty quickly. In general, we talked about purchase price. In this case, I'm going right in the middle, $435,000. There are fourplexes on the market right now you can buy at that price. We are going to use a loan. Most of my investors are financed, 30% down, 7% interest rate, 30-year amortized loan with a 3% closing cost, or roughly $13,000. I did mention that usually at that price point, you're going to have to do some repairs, $20,000 per unit, $20,000 on the exterior means $100,000 in repairs. And I did mention that after repair value is between $500,000 and $600,000. Let's shoot for the middle at $550,000. Property tax, 2% is a pretty safe estimate. Insurance, always check with your insurance provider, but I usually go with about $1,200 per unit for these fourplexes. No HOA, maintenance cost, $200 per unit per month, and then other costs. When you're buying a fourplex in College Station, you've got two expenses on top of everything else. One is lawn care. Roughly $100 a month covers lawn care. The other one is going to be water. You see, the electrical meter is sub-metered, so your tenants will pay the electric bill, but you as a landlord will cover water because it's not sub-metered. $75 per month is usually a good safe bet in 2025. In terms of monthly income, as I mentioned, after repair, $1,200 per month is a pretty safe bet. 7% vacancy rate. That's probably on the higher side, but that covers the fact that your fourplex tenants don't generally tend to stay for 5 to 10 years. It's a more transitory tenant base, so 7% vacancy, and then management fees. Real quick tangent on management fees, guys. I put it at 5% because I'm assuming you're going to self-manage, because I am convinced that if you self-manage like a pro, which we can help you out here at Schwartz Realty Group, if you self-manage like a pro, you will have better returns than if you hand it off to a property manager. Argue with me in the comments below, or give me a call to explain my position there. Anyway, self-manage, 5% covers software and some of the costs that you might pay a realtor to fill a vacancy. If you go to sell, you will have enjoyed at least 4.5% appreciation per year. This is based on the fact that since 1990, the average appreciation has been 4.96%. I went a little bit more conservative, 4.5% per year. Holding length of at least 10 years because we are buy and hold investors, and it'll cost you about 7% to sell when you include realtor fees and closing costs. Whew, that was a lot. When we calculate this, we will see that we are just shy of a 10% IRR, that we will have a total profit when we sell of $340,000, 140% cash on cash return when you add up all the cash flow, and then your purchase cap rate is just shy of a 6 cap. In terms of monthly cash flow, this is something that's probably most important to folks. You'll see that we are positive. When we account for all those expenses, which in my opinion are relatively conservative, we still walk away with a positive cash flow. And I know it's hard to find positive cash flow as a long-term rental these days, so a fourplex is a great opportunity to have an asset that will positively cash flow. And again, you can look at NOI in order to determine what your cap rate would be. If you don't know what NOI are and cap rates are, don't worry about it. In my opinion, you need to know what your cash flow is and your annualized return. This calculator, unfortunately, makes it a little bit more complicated. They don't use annualized return, they use IRR, which is internal rate of return, which is just a more complicated annualized return. For the sake of this, just assume that this is the relative equivalent to annualized rate of return. If you want to know what IRR is, go ahead and Google it. But the takeaway here is you're getting a 10% return per year on a conservative analysis, on a very safe investment in a town that sees strong appreciation and has a high rental rate. In general, I think this is a great investment for someone who wants steady returns on a low risk asset. If you're looking for something a little bit safer, I might recommend single family houses. If you want something a little bit more juicy, I might recommend that you convert this fourplex to an Airbnb. I've got videos on both of those. Check them out in the description below or over my shoulder. The point is, guys, fourplexes can make a great opportunity, a great asset for the right investor. And of course, if you buy this at a better price point, like $400,000, where some of these have been selling, you'll get an even better return. Or you buy it turnkey and you can have less of the risk associated with the renovation and still have the cash flow and the annual appreciation. The point is, you can't go wrong as long as you've got a great team supporting you. That's what we do here at Schwartz Realty Group. All of our descriptions down below. Book a call with me and we will discuss your personal situation. The other thing you can do is go down there and hit the like button. That lets other people know I'm making videos just like this. Or hit the subscribe button so you can be notified every single week when I drop a new video about investing here in Bryan and College Station. Until I drop the next video next week, my only real request is that you take it easy.